Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Speakeasy Collection from the brand Cuccio. These are releasing on September 1st. In the description box, I will link the Cuccio site, I will link their Instagram page, I will link the HB Beauty Bar site where you can pick these up, and then I will link the HB Beauty Bar Instagram page. I will link my swatching Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. And down there you will also find, as well as here on the screen, a 22% off discount code with HB Beauty Bar. It is, I believe, an affiliate code, so I might make a little bit of money if you use my code. It's there if you want to use it, or you don't have to. So this collection does have 8 new polishes, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Putting on the Ritz, and this is described as a multifaceted chocolate with a gold shimmer. So here's our first coat of Putting on the Ritz. This one is very deep. It's not super opaque, and it's not super even, but it is a very deep color, so it does give me the feel of more opacity. I was able to achieve full opacity and even coverage in 2 coats. It does have a good formula, and the brush makes application an absolute breeze. I recommend top coat, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats of Putting on the Ritz. Up next we have Bee's Knees, and this is described as a mustard cream. This one definitely leans more peanut butter than mustard in my opinion. It's more brown than yellow, in other words. Here's our first coat of the Bee's Knees. This covers really well and really even here on this first coat. Borderline A1 coater. If you're not super picky, you could get away with it. I am going to show you what 2 coats looks like today. This is going to dry glossy all on its own. A top coat will help protect your manicure and give a nice plump finish to your manicure. I didn't have any staining with this one either. So there are 2 coats of the Bee's Knees. Up next we have Sitting Pretty, and this is described as a mauve clay cream. Here's our first coat of Sitting Pretty. This one is super opaque on this first coat. I mean, this one I would call a 1-coater. I am going to show you 2 coats today just to show you what that looks like, but it didn't change my coverage and it didn't change the color. It is going to dry darker than when it's wet, only by a hair, but just bear that in mind. I recommend top coat, and nothing stained, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats. Next up we have On the Up and Up, and this is described as an oxblood cream. Here's our first coat of On the Up and Up, and once again this is very opaque here on this first coat. This isn't as opaque as Sitting Pretty was, the last one that we looked at, but this one is almost a 1-coater again. I did get full opacity in 2 coats. I'm tripping over my words today. I didn't have any kind of running, pulling, or staining, and it will dry glossy, so there are 2 coats of On the Up and Up. Next up we have The It Girl, and this is described as a sugar plum shimmer. Here's our first coat of The It Girl. This one is not as opaque as the creams, but very opaque in and of itself. Again, it's just not on the even side, just like the first one that we looked at. So 2 coats did bring me up in coverage and up in evenness, but it is a little bit more jelly, so I do recommend going in for 3. If you go in for all 3 coats, you are going to add some depth and dimension in these beautiful sparkly bits that are in this polish. I do recommend going in for top coat, but nothing ultra textured, and removal will be easy. So there are 3 coats of the It Girl. Up next we have Hotsy Totsy, and this is described as a violet duochrome. So here's our first coat of Hotsy Totsy. This one is on the sheer side. I think this would look beautiful built up over a black polish, but I did show what it looked like built up on its own. The shimmer that's in here is very strong, very glow from within, very beautiful. I did have some brush strokes through it, and not all of those went away when it dried. So if you have the option to work in super straight strokes, I would recommend doing so. I recommend top coat, and removal on this will be easy, and nothing is going to dry textured. So there are 3 coats of Hotsy Totsy. Next up we have the Cat's Pajamas, and this is described as a Blurple duochrome. Here's our first coat of the Cat's Pajamas.
This one is on the sheer side as well. You could layer this over a black or a deeper color to get a more vibrant shimmer if you didn't want to layer it up on its own. I was happy with the coverage here in 2 coats, but if you work super thin, I could easily see needing 3. This one was borderline. The shimmer that's in here is strong and beautiful. It will dry, glossy, and removals easy.
And then lastly for today we have Giga Water, and this is described as a blue-gray duochrome metallic.
And here's our first coat of Giga Water. This is a very unique color in my collection. I have duochromes that are similar, but nothing quite as icy, and that's the only way I can describe it. I got full coverage in 2 coats, but again, it's borderline needing 3, and I did have some brush strokes in this while it was wet and dry. So I did want to work those out as much as I could, but it's easy to overwork these kind of polishes as well. But there are 2 coats.
And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.